Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we are tackling a big one of the most influential and, let's be honest, challenging books in Western history, Augustine's City of God. So how do we even begin to get our heads around a work this massive? Well, let's start with this brilliant metaphor. Think of this book not as just some old text, but as a passport. It's our ticket, our visa, into a strange and powerful country of thought, one that has, believe it or not, shaped the very world we live in today. So, where does a journey like this even start? You might think it's in some quiet, dusty library, right? Nope. This book wasn't born from peaceful thinking. It was forged in chaos, born out of a moment of absolute crisis. Okay, so picture this. It's 410 AD, Rome, the eternal city, gets sacked. It's a world-shattering event, a total shock to the system. And who gets the blame? The Christians. People were pointing fingers, saying their new religion had made the empire weak. Augustine's response? It wasn't just some quick letter to the editor. No, he starts this massive 15-year project to answer that charge and, along the way, rethink all of human history. And when I say massive, I really mean it. To get a feel for what he pulled off, you have to understand the sheer scale of this thing. It's almost hard to wrap your mind around. 15 years. Just let that sink in. A decade and a half of dedicated, sustained focus on one single piece of work. That's some serious commitment. He organized the whole thing into 22 distinct books. Now, don't think of these like short chapters. They're more like huge, sprawling sections, each one diving deep into a different part of his argument. And the final result? A book that's over 1,000 pages long. In fact, get this, it's the single largest work with one coherent theme to survive from the entire ancient world. It is just huge. Okay, so 1,000+ page book? How in the world are you supposed to navigate that? Well, luckily for us, Augustine basically gives us a map. The whole thing breaks down pretty neatly into two big parts. The first 10 books, that's the defense. This is where Augustine takes on the critics head-on, but he's clever about it. He uses Roman history and philosophy against itself, basically saying, hey, Rome had problems long before we Christians showed up. Then, in the second part, books 11 to 22, he totally switches gears. He goes on the offense, laying out his own grand vision for humanity. It's the story of two cities, the earthly city, all about love of self, and the heavenly city, all about the love of God. But, and this is where it gets really interesting, if you think this book is just about, winning a debate against non-Christians, you're missing the true genius of it all. It's so much deeper than that. So let's just tackle this common idea head-on, right? The book is often called Against the Pagans, which, makes it sound like a full-on attack. But the reality is way more subtle. I mean, check this out. It's an absolutely wild fact. In the original Latin, we're talking about almost 300,000 words. And in all of that, guess how many times the word pagan shows up? 7. Just 7 times. That's it. So what does that tell you? It tells you everything. Augustine wasn't interested in just defeating an enemy in an argument. He wasn't really writing against people so much as he was writing for them. His goal was never to win a debate. It was to change the person reading the book. What he's doing is something scholars call a conversionist strategy, and that's just a way of saying the whole book is designed to be a tool that actually transforms you. He's not trying to just feed you new facts. He's trying to give you an entirely new set of eyes to see the world with. And how does he do it? It's brilliant. He takes all the big, important words of his culture, we're talking virtue, justice, love, city, glory, and one by one he redefines them. Take a word like glory. To a Roman, that meant winning battles, getting parades. Augustine comes along and completely flips it. He says no, true glory is about humility and serving God. And he does this with all of these core ideas, basically rebuilding your entire mental framework from the inside out. Okay, so that's all super interesting history, for sure. But let's be real. Why should we, 1,600 years later, care about this book? Why should you take this journey today? Well, because this book isn't some dusty relic in a museum. It's an active challenge. It's less like a finished city you can just walk through and more like a mountain that's daring you to try and climb it. It's a workout for your mind and for your spirit. And the reason it's still so powerful is that when you read it, it kind of reveals the invisible foundations of your own thinking. It helps you see these deep assumptions you have about everything: history, politics, the meaning of life, assumptions you probably didn't even know you had. And that's the ultimate takeaway, really. The book works like a mirror. Augustine's journey forces you to start your own. It makes you look at the foundations of your own city. It kind of grabs you and asks, what do you truly value? What does a good life actually look like to you? And maybe most importantly, which of your own assumptions are really worth challenging?